Welcome to GamerStation's Browser Games of the Week for the week of September 4th and 11th. And I'm your host, Steven SnakeYukin Lindsey. Some of you might be wondering why we didn't have up our video last week, and that's because my computer crashed and I wasn't able to put it up. So we combined last week's video with this video. So as you'll probably be able to tell, last week's video, I wasn't sick, but this week, I am sick. So let's get right into our list. Starting our list is a game that I question putting on our list because it's more of a gadget than an actual game. But I enjoyed it so much that I'm deciding to put it up. Also, the music that I was able to create. You are a DJ and there's no real goal to this. You just get to act like a DJ and create some music and beats that you just might enjoy. It's a mouse avoider game and you're supposed to dodge cubes. You probably figure that out. The game starts off easy, but as difficulty bumps up, you'll find it hard to survive with all the things flying at you at once. Red cubes from the front, a white cube firing at you, and purple cubes coming from behind you. And that's just on the 6th difficulty level. No one knows how to drive carefully, and you gotta make sure that these cars don't crash into each other for as long as you can. Just click on a car to make it go faster, to make sure it doesn't crash into another vehicle. The more it goes on, the harder it becomes. Now, I will admit, this game might be boring for some of you out there like me, and it may be hard for people out there who aren't like me and play these games all the time. There's a horde of zombie-based monsters coming towards you, and you need to mow them down. The more you kill, the more money you get, and you can use this to get new guns and some allies. Apparently the full version of this game has just been released, and this is it. I haven't played the non-full version, so I and several other people that have played the non-full version can't tell the changes. You control an adventurer who, well, must do heroic deeds and save the day. The game is an action RPG that will likely take several hours to complete. As I don't have the type of time on my hands to play browser games for hours upon hours, I cannot confirm or deny that guess. You're a giant whale-less creature and you have to eat stars and planets to keep harmony. You also have to summon up allies to make sure that you can stay alive long enough to do so. Level up the attributes of your whales and summons to make things go a little easier. Robots are coming to abduct humans, and it's up to you and your UFO to destroy these robots. Who knew that's what UFOs were for? The game is simple so that anyone can play it. Just shoot left and right to kill the robots, but there is more complexity involved if you want to get some of the high scores. This revolves around causing chains of destructions between the robots by using debris. It's the first time in a while that we have a Diner Dash-esque type of game. You work at a pizza joint and have two characters to choose from at the beginning, a boy or a girl, and each of these have their own attributes. Your job is to serve the right type of pizza to the customers. There's round pizzas, hexagon pizzas, several toppings, and many more things that you gotta choose from. As well as that, there are several upgrades that you can get to make more moolah. While there's a story to this game, it's not important. All you need to know is that you get to fire a trebuchet, that's a catapult, with several different types of ammo at castles to kill everyone inside. It's also one of those games that you have to get the lowest amount of throws at, which means you'll probably cheat and just press reset all the times that you fail. The further you go, the more different types of ammo you get, and the more complex the castles become. You control two characters, though only one is initially available, who are in bubbles. No, they're not bubble boys, they just work at a very dangerous place, a rubber duck company, that requires them to be in bubbles. The game is a puzzle platformer with your goal to find a way out of it. Wherever you are, maybe the sewers. A problem exists that the controls can be a little fidgety and you might have issues pushing some objects, but they are easy to get over once you know what you're doing. I have never watched The Room, but after looking up on Wiki, it seems to be a horrible indie movie that I should just make fun of. The game plays out primarily as an adventure game in which you control Johnny in his normal day-to-day activities, which I guess kind of happens in the movie. There are some other game elements that do pop in throughout the game, like a Pokemon fight scene early on. Also, there is some brief nudity in the game, male and female, but it's only during the beginning of each day, and I'm sure all of you can blur it out. From the people behind Home Run and Berserkland comes their newest game. The point is simple, go through a level and kill anything that's in your path. You can also upgrade your armor and weapons that you have for a modest fee. Also, like in the previous games, this one has premium items that you get to buy with gems that seem to be involved with a different side if you're signed up for it. With 40 levels of addicting gameplay, you might find it hard to quit. Or you might find it quite easy to. The game is simple. Avoid red blocks and get the coins. It starts off easy, but it gradually gets harder through each level. But it's never so hard that you want to quit the game. You just want to keep playing and figure out the pattern to survive a little longer. We have a wonderful adventure game that may have a logic that confuses most people out there. You are a patient who is bedridden in a hospital, and he longs for his family in his home. His only escape is his dreams, which allows him to gather several items that represent his previous life, such as a necklace with his wife in it. There are several different adventures in the game that are played out at random, so multiple playthroughs are advised. If you like Hangman, and maybe platforming to some degree, then you'll love Langman. The game is a mix between platforming and Hangman. You jump around a stage going to a certain letter you think is correct, then you select it. If it's wrong, the tile will fall and you'll have to hop off of it. If you're right, well, it'll light up. The one annoyance in the game is that sometimes blocks can block other letters. This is one of those games that everyone out there will not enjoy, but several of those who like more artsy games will surely like it. You control Thomas, a character who rides on a unicycle through seasons. There's a few things they can do in each stage, but there isn't an overall goal or anything that can really kill you. It's more of an experience like most of these games are. This is a simple run and gun game that everyone out there should be able to play, as you can't die. The goal is to simply destroy the brain, which involves destroying small little barriers protecting it, as well as guns. While the main point isn't to simply destroy the brain, no, it's to do it as fast as you can, and possibly compete and compare scores with friends willing to play the game. My only real complaint with the game is that it has no leaderboards whatsoever. That'd be a great addition to the game, so you can compare your scores and play it again to outbeat everyone. Aliens have attacked the Earth, and the army has turned to some mercenaries to help out, which you're one of those mercenaries. The game is a strategy game of sorts, just there really isn't a lot of strategy involved. You select a certain type of ship you want to send out, and keep doing that till the enemy dies. It's easy, but it's also fun at the same time. The world has to be purged of pixels. Like several games, there is some story for this, but it's really unimportant, as you only care about shooting everything in your path, and that's more or less the only thing you do throughout the game. It's fun, addictive, and simple. Move your ship around the map, shoot anything that you see, and collect pixels to level up your ship. A simple and fun puzzle game that those who aren't as good as other at puzzle games may enjoy. You control the direction and speed of a conveyor belt, and it's up to you to separate the boxes into the appropriate bin. Don't worry if you do put a box in the wrong bin, because you'll have till the timer ends to get them into the right bin, which often there's more than enough time. Going from one puzzle game, we come to another one. In this one, the goal is to line 3 rows of elements by rotating the circles, using volcanoes, and several different moves. This one involves a little more thinking than the previous one, but the only obstacles is that you have only a certain number of moves that you can use. But more than enough for nearly everyone out there. Continuing on our puzzle train comes Dynamic System 2. This game tries to copy what Rube Goldberg machines do, making simple tasks into long and extravagant machines that look cool in the end. You start out with a couple of objects that you must use to guide a ball to a cup. Where else would a ball go? This is one of those simple and easy games, but addictive at the same time. You control a turtle who must do the hurdles and avoid walls. The further you go, the faster your turtle goes, and the harder it is to avoid some of the obstacles. More attacking of cursors. Well, a cursor that you control. The goal is to simply shoot certain objects, not shoot other objects, and collect green orbs. Sometimes things are a little bit more tricky, and the controls can be a little annoying and confusing to get a hold of. I'm not the biggest dating sim person out there. Certain ones float my boat, but most sink it like it has tons of holes in it. In this one, you control a princess who is taken from her kingdom by her servant because the kingdom you belong in is being attacked. The next kingdom over isn't too welcoming until you're forced to agree to marry the king. Well, after that, he leaves, and you have a whole month till the marriage, which means you can decide to marry the douche or get some of the other guys instead. It's all about getting to the bottom of the map. You control a bland, normal hero who can turn into several other heroes as soon as you rescue them from cages. You can also jump on treasure chests for treasure and also on monsters, but not the ones with spiked hats, though the jumping on monsters can be a little annoying as you have to land almost precisely on them. If you're off by a little bit on the sides of the head, it won't register. Also, if there's two together, sometimes one of them will always damage you. The conclusion to the Alice is Dead series, and it goes out with either a disappointing bang or one you like. I am the one that's going with it's a disappointing bang. For those that don't know, the game is a point-and-click game in which you control the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Just, there's a unique and dark approach to this world, as the rabbit has killed Alice, and the rabbit is somewhat of an assassin. In this installment, you are to kill the queen, who's really a guy, and you might learn a little more about Rabbit's past. You control a female character with spider-like legs, and who just wants some apples. There are several different paths to the tree, but only one is open each day. As well as getting apples, you can help out some of the people in the area, or you can be a pain to everyone. There are 3 different endings that you can also get for this game. And now we come to our game that should have been better than it was. Now this is where we find a game that initially we thought was pretty good, but something about it just fumbled the ball so bad that it really annoyed and ruined the experience for us. Our pick for this week is Air Transporter. There is one huge flaw with this game that I cannot forgive. Its controls. Sure, some of the other games on our list had bad controls, but you could get used to them, or they weren't that bad. However, in this game, it reminds me of a certain N64 game. It's always fidgety, and it's hard to get where you want to get to. Either it's oversensitive, meaning whenever you press left, you go flying left, further than you even thought you would go, or it's not that responsive at all. So if you press left and try holding it down, it doesn't want to go left. And if you just happen to tap it left, sometimes it wants to go right. It makes no sense. It has a mind of its own. And that isn't the best thing when you're trying to precisely get and drop items at certain locations. You will likely fail several times, or it'll take longer than it should because you can't maneuver the way you want to. This isn't supposed to be a complex game. You go from point A to point B, then to point C with certain items from point B, and rinse and repeat point B to point C over and over till the game is finished. If you can get the controls to work, or at least get past some of the levels, it's an interesting game. However, the controls are such an hindrance that become so annoying that the likelihood of you quitting is quite high. And that brings us to the end of our video. Now, as a reminder for anyone out there that doesn't know, each and every Sunday, we're going to be putting up a new video in our Browser Games of the Week video. So if you haven't liked this video, want to be up to date on all of our other videos, or just simply want to know about some of the better browser games that come out on a week, then simply subscribe to us. It only takes one click of that subscribe button to be up to date on all of our stuff.
Pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars. I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
And it seems like yesterday, it was just a dream. But those days are gone, they're just memories.